Alright guys, I'm gonna just try to, videotape this because maybe pictures aren't good enough. But this is the assembly of how I'm putting everything together, and maybe somebody can show me what I'm doing wrong or point out a point in this movie that is the wrong procedure or something, because it's really just getting frustrating. So here we go. Firstly, we have the kick assembly. I don't know. Let me get all the junk off of there. Dirty floor. First off, I'm pretty sure everything's put together right as per the diagram that I found on the website or the forum. A little kick clip is on there. It still has plenty of tension. The spring, nothing's broke on it. Everything's in there properly. I don't know if you can see all this or not. Let me see if I can't adjust something. Yeah, so everything is put together properly. I never took this piece apart. Now, bear in mind, the only reason why I took the side covers off of this bike in the restoration process was just to take a look kind of at the internals of the engine. It didn't have any oil in it whenever I got it. So I wanted to see how everything looked like inside of here to make sure there wasn't any gunk or grime or anything, and so far it looks pretty good. And I wanted to paint the case cover, the clutch cover, and I don't know, maybe I should have just left it alone because it's not going back together properly. Now, as you can see, the little clip and everything is here. That's supposed to be there is on there properly. All the washers and shims are in the place where they're supposed to be. And, yeah. Never took this apart. So, my understanding of the easiest way to do this is that there is the zip tie method. And that seems to work really well, being that you take this part of the kickstart mechanism, I believe it's called the stop, and you put it in at the full kick position with the spring clip situated in a way that it will go into the housing down here that's molded into the case, the actual engine itself. This piece here is what goes into that, I'm assuming, from all the pictures that I've seen, and it just makes sense that that's the way that it goes. So anyways, we put this sucker in there. I mean, it's in. It's not going to go in any further. It won't turn any more counterclockwise because it is in the full kick position. Now, as per the zip tie trick, the gentleman whose name I can't remember at the moment suggests to take a zip tie and simply loop it around this spring and turn the entire mechanism clockwise until you can loop it onto this protrusion, at which time, once you've spun it around and locked it into place there, then the spring will then be wound to provide enough enough energy to bring the kickstart back. So let's do that now. Loop it around the spring. Hold a little bit of inward pressure on it. Allow the mechanism to turn, but don't let it come out, because then that would be bad. And then voila, it's on there. Now, this is where it gets confusing, because the entire assembly is now in there. I mean, it's not, there's no way that it can go in there any further, and if there was a way that I could show you that there's no play in it going into the engine, then I would, but I can't. With our new oil seal, bought that, thought that I didn't have it, ended up I actually had it, and I replaced it anyways because I'd already paid for the damn thing. Now we've got the case cover on here, obviously, and I'm just putting the kickstart mechanism back on there just to show what it's doing. This is what's so perplexing. This is what's caused me grief for quite some time now. So just to get to it, this is it. With no pressure on the kick case, on the cover here, we can, and it still returns very, very easily, as you can see. No effort whatsoever is needed to actually bring the kickstart mechanism back to its original position. Now, just as a demonstration, if obviously I don't have any screws in here, that'll come later, but if I were to take this mechanism, alright, that's exactly in the right position there. So now there's no screws in the actual cover itself, but watch, this is what's so weird. Still works, everything works fine, it returns. However, if I put even the slightest bit, I don't even know if you can see this, but I'm just squeezing with my hand on the clutch cover, it sticks. Release pressure, just watch my hand. Release pressure and it comes back. Works fine. Now, add a little bit of pressure to it, sticks. Now I know some of you are probably saying, well, that's because you don't have any of the other screws in here, so it's binding up top. And now I'm going to show you exactly what it's doing, so you can see that I did actually go through all the effort of putting these bolts back in. Fast forward this for you so you don't have to watch it. Alright, so as I was saying before the camera shut itself off automatically, we're going to tighten all these down. I already have done that. I haven't taken the time to find my torque wrench to torque it down properly, but I've just snugged them. These three above the kickstart mechanism are still loose. I mean, that's as loose as they can. I mean, they're in there, but they're loose. They're not providing any pressure on the actual seal at all. So as you can see there. Now take our kickstart one more time, put it on here. It returns flawlessly, beautifully. It works perfectly. Now if I take and tighten any one of these three up even slightly, it stops working, and I will show you that now. Still working, still working. Alright, super loose, that's kind of where it stops. Now watch. That's it. Maybe a quarter of a turn, a full quarter of a turn. Now watch, this is what's so perplexing. Ridiculous. Alright, so that's still got a little bit of pressure on there. As you can tell, it's not coming back quite as violently, if you will, as it was prior to me tightening that down. So I'm going to loose it back up to where it's, once again, providing no actual holding power whatsoever, and do it again to these screws here. So, working fine. Give it a little bit of a snug. A little bit more. Well, It's snug, and now it's not. It won't come back. Even, I mean, once again, I can take and I can crank this over and show you that it wouldn't come back even with more tension put on the spring. But just trust me that it doesn't, because once again, I don't have any oil in here and I don't want to mess anything up. But boom, it comes back. Just a 1/16 of a turn, maybe. So that's not really one of the problematic screws. As you can tell, I can pretty much tighten it down as much as any one person would want to, and that's whenever it starts sticking. It's mainly these two here, but this one I believe plays a role in it as well. So everything's loose still. That screw's also loose. We're going to snug them up just a little bit, and it catches. And if you were to snug it down to where you would, I would think that you would torque it to, once again, nothing. Now I've tried everything. I mean, I've tried everything. I've replaced the oil seal. I've done all the different assembly procedures on the actual Kickstart inside of here to tension the spring that I can find. The zip tie method I found is most useful. It's easiest. And theoretically, from the way that it was explained and the way that all the other methods are supposed to work, this should do the exact same thing, but easier. That's my problem, guys. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. This is just getting ridiculous. Thanks for your time, guys. Alright, guys, so in case you couldn't tell, here's some pictures for you. The first picture is of the inside of the engine behind the clutch cover. Just that's what it looks like. I don't know if there's something broken in there or wrong, but from what I can tell, everything looks normal. Second and third pictures are just different angles of the Kickstart assembly, one being the side that goes inward towards the engine, the other side being, of course, the one that goes outside the clutch case cover. The last picture is the only thing in my mind that seems like it could be causing this problem, but it seems so minuscule that I wouldn't suspect it of being the culprit. But what do I know about motorcycles? As you can tell, on the left side of the Kickstart hole, there's a crack, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got there. I was gonna just put some JB weld on it, just because it's so minor. Let me know what you think. Could that be the reason why it's binding? Don't know if it was cracked before. I don't know if it cracked in the baking process whenever I was baking the cover after I painted it. I don't know. Help me out. I'd appreciate it. Let me know what you think. See you guys. Thanks.